Yeah, sure. I guess I'll start with its origin story, why it was even developed to begin with. So, as I had mentioned, Cognilytica was an analyst firm, and we would have customers, right, who wanted to know about the space. And we said, okay. And then they go, this is back in 2018, right? They wanted to run an AI project. And we said, there clearly must be a methodology out there that you can follow. And so we did a lot of research, and there was nothing. So there was CRISP-DM, which was around data mining, and that was developed in 1999, but then stalled on version 1, right? And it was really around data mining, so it wasn't AI specific. And Agile, right? As we know, the Agile Manifesto wasn't published until 2001, so it wasn't agile and iterative. So we took some elements of that because it had great data foundations, and then we added in agile elements, right? Because these should be done in short iterative sprints, and added that agile mindset. And that's where CPMAI was developed. So that all the way back in 2018, so we were able to help folks on that journey. The methodology and the certification itself, right, is to help you run and manage AI projects. It never has and never will be about teaching you how to use AI tools. Why? Because tools change so often. I mean, could you imagine we'd have to be updating this almost daily? So we were like, that's not the right approach. And also, when I think about skill sets, I break them down, right? Because everybody says that we should be learning AI and doing things, but I break them down into 3 different types of learning. And so you have your perishable, durable, and enduring skills. Your perishable skills are the ones that are going to be quick to learn, but quick to decay. So that's on how to use AI tools, right? You think about when a new model comes out, you need to make sure that you're understanding how to do that. We've moved from prompt engineering, right, to context engineering, building agents. What does this look like? Those are going to be those perishable skills. Then we have durable skills. And so this is around frameworks and methodologies like CPMAI, where it's going to take you a little bit longer to learn, but then you're going to be able to use those skills for a lot longer. So if we think about, right, where a lot of people now are saying, well, we're not running and managing an AI project. But I go, yes, you are. Right? Where they go, well, we're not building the models from scratch. And I go, okay, that's fair. We're probably not building models from scratch, but you know what? We are building agents. And if we have agentic workflows, you need to follow CPMAI. So that's where the methodology continues to be super relevant. And then we have these enduring skills. And so this is really around those soft skills or power skills that PMI calls them. And this is critical thinking, collaboration, communication, judgment. These are going to take a lot longer to learn, but then be very transferable throughout your entire career. And so when I think about learning, I like to think about it from those 3 angles. We'll never teach really those perishable skills in CPMAI. It's going to be more of those durable skills. And then some enduring, but also there's a lot of resources out there to help with thinking about and teaching and reinforcing your durable skills.
Well, I think where I smiled, because I've been affiliated with PMI and similar organizations for a long time, and I'm totally indoctrinated in the framework concept of things. You know, I always look at, as an organization, when you're trying to really transform something, you've got the strategic level. Everybody's great at that. Everybody's great at creating vision and mission, right? Then you have that functional level where you have all that nitty gritty that most people don't want to focus on. Then you have the operational. And that framework sits right in the middle, and actually it combines all 3. And I think that's where there was a great marriage between the operational assets that PMI brings to the table. You know, having decades and decades of experience of taking complex situations and simplifying it by putting it down into layers and into steps, and also reminding people that, you know what. This whole think fast, think slow kind of principle, we should know what we're at least to a certain extent, know what we're doing before we move forward. Yeah. Great.